So
Welcome back from the desk below. Man, it's always a pleasure when I got a fellow Canadian on the show, man, because, man, we got to cover our own hometown too, man. So with this gentleman right here, man, when I did my research on him, man, he's got one hell of a resume, man. He works with the likes of the Juice Crew, Locks, Legendary Boot Camp Clips. Salute to my guys all in boot camp, Griselda, and Wu Tang, man. But recently, I really got tapped into this gentleman right here with his recent release with Asun Eastwood. We covered Asun extensively on this platform, man. But this gentleman and Asun Eastwood just released an amazing album that Asun gave us the drop on early on in the interview called Buffalo Rapchaz. Man, I got the one and only DJ Mercilless.
hey, salute.
Man, how you doing, my guy?
I'm good.
Man, this one was long overdue, man. I kind of wish we had Fury here too, but hey, so when I did my research on you, Merciless, I see that you've been doing a lot of I've seen you've been active since 2001, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay,
that,
okay.
that was my first drop, official first drop.
Oh, official. Okay. But you had
Yeah.
practice before that, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm not gonna go back into the old stuff because I'm pretty sure you get asked about that. But I do want to ask though, let's say, did you meet Asun or did you the Moon Crickets form? Because I want to get into all that.
Uh, no, Moon Crickets was done before I met Ace,
Okay, so
like
so
a few years before that. Yeah.
okay, so let's start back then. I understand like the Moon Crickets kind of came about. At first, there was a joke from I heard you say in a previous interview, and then
Yeah.
you actually saved a Lord Finesse concert that night.
No, that was a separate time for
Okay,
sure. But
I got
yeah, I definitely did save a Lord Finesse concert. Yep. Because they were having technical issues like people do sometimes, and
yeah.
the mixer was just tripping out. The DJ couldn't figure it out. The engineer couldn't figure it out. So after like 10 minutes, I was like, yo, I was just pleading with the engineer because you know me, but he wanted to figure it out. But people started leaving. So I was like, yo, just let me do it. I know I can do it.
He knows what he's doing.
30 seconds later, we had sound.
So was this the night that
So yeah.
because I believe that Moon Cricket was formed during by like it was during a concert night, right?
No. So uh basically it was formed because Fury just came up with it because he was just joking around after we recorded a song. So we
Oh,
recorded a song and then he was like, yeah, we should come out with a group called Moon Crickets. And then Priest started laughing with his big jolly laugh. And then it was just like a running joke. And then it just stuck.
man. And I forgot to say in the intro, my bad. We also got a fellow Wu Tang Killer B affiliate in the house right here, man. Yeah, I forgot. We covered a lot of that Killer Bees on this site, man. It's only right to have you on now too.
Okay.
So I was curious, like, what made you fall in love with the Wu? Because we all have different, like little rabbit holes how we fall in love with the Wu. Mine was like the only boat for Cuban links. So I was curious how Merciless fell in love with the Wu.
Okay. Well, I guess it would start even, I guess maybe before the Woo, really,
Okay.
when Genius dropped his first album.
Ah.
I used to play that album every day.
Oh wow.
So I became a fan of him first, and then when RZA dropped, then I was a fan of RZA, and then they were both quiet, and then all of a sudden Wu came, and it was like it was a storm. It was crazy.
Yeah, because like a lot of people don't realize though, if you tune into the platform right now, it's on the screen for everyone who's looking. Words of the Genius right there. But that's before how Jizza went into Genius. But like I said, if you turn into this network, you should know this by now. So initially, like when that sound came out, it was like something we never heard of before. And now that we look back in time, like how infamous that logo, well, sorry, how famous that Woo logo is, it's like a metallic, it's like a famous rock logo, like
Yeah.
metallic, like ACDC.
Yeah, it's the most, supposedly it has the world record of being tattooed on the most bodies.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, I can definitely. That'd be so true, man. Sometimes you'd be in public, and I got a Wu-Tang tattoo. So initially, as you start to fall in love with the different solo discographies, when did you first? Because everyone remember who gave them the first shot at their dreams. So who was the first Wu or Wu affiliate to actually embrace you?
that would be Priest.
Oh wow, okay, shout out to Priest right there. Okay. Now
Yeah.
initially, now how did you and Priest hook up? And like let's take it back to like let's give us a time frame so we know like if it's like heavy mental Priest or like the offer and Priest.
No, it was like I think it was I think it was 2011. They
Okay.
were up here for a concert, and Fury ended up going to the concert. And literally the next day, he convinced Priest to come over. I don't know what he said, but he got him here. We recorded some tracks. Then the next day after that, he brought Trife Diesel,
Wow,
Few
okay.
Littles, and Chic Luch.
Oh wow! Oh, you're just gonna throw say Chic Luch in there? Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then we ended up doing like maybe 4 or 5 songs,
Oh wow, okay.
and it was great. Like the vibe was so crazy. And then we ended up on tour with them, just hanging out. And then they were hyping me up to Ghost. And Ghost is very particular with who he hangs out with. So he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, whatever. But they kept telling him like, yo, this guy's got beats, man. You got to go check him out. He's got soul. So if he finally cracked, and probably like 3 or 4 days later, Ghost ended up over here, and then it was a wrap, and we've been cool ever since.
Wow, see, and like it's like stories like that that gives us like when we go back and listen to like Death in the Arena, it gives us like more of an appreciation. We already appreciate that part, but it gives us more because we get to know the backstory on how it was actually formed. So the group was
Mm-hmm.
actually formed during that weekend when like Sheik, Luch, all of them came over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. So like as a fan, like did you know like this was gonna be like a cult classic for the Wu Tang Killer B fans?
For me, it was just it was gonna be a one and done, but we wanted it to be a classic, hand-picked project that we like. It was almost like a dream project. So
Yeah.
me and Fury would sit down in the studio and basically plot out, okay, we want to get this MC, this person. We got to get them on this track. They're going to do this amount of verses. Like we plotted out that whole album, and we pretty much got everybody that we wanted, but there was a lot of people that were supposed to be on tracks that due to scheduling, it just didn't happen. But like the first track with Bounty Killer, originally RZA was supposed to be on that.
Oh wow.
It was supposed to be, who was it? So we were gonna do 2 back and forth. So Killer Priest and Fury were gonna do back and forth, and then it was supposed to be, I think it was RZA and Meth we were thinking of,
Oh wow.
but it just didn't work out, you know. But
Yeah.
we got a lot of legends on that album. That album basically can never be done again.
Yeah, it's like, and you're always gonna remember those memories too while making that album too.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
so I don't know if I made the connection. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But when I seen the name Death in the Arena, I instantly thought of gangsters like step into the arena. That was like kind of
Yeah,
like, is this like?
that's exactly what it was. It was
Oh, okay.
because Step in the Arena is what got me wanting to be part of hip hop.
Oh,
So that album is basically in almost like a salute, an ode to
like a
Step in the Arena.
homage almost.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Now, wow, okay. I never knew Step into the Arena was the one to actually get you wanted to be a part of this culture. Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
that's why there's a lot of cuts on the album.
Well, I kind of figured that you had to, the word DJ in your name, so I kind of figured it's going to be cuts. And like, now we're going to get into this too. A lot of people have the word DJ in their name, but they can't
Exactly, like
DJ, but
DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
All these guys, it's like whatever.
But we're talking to the man right here who can actually DJ with vinyl. We're not talking about no fruity
Yeah,
vinyl over here.
yeah. No push button DJing.
Yeah. Have to have all the records in alphabetical order just so you know which one to grab.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we're coming into this game now too, like with the moon crickets and stuff like that. What was the feedback like during that time of release? Because I always think like I call this Renaissance when the Invincible Renaissance started from 2018. So this was we recorded back then, like way before Griselda. So I was curious, like the feedback on like you guys got from this album, because when I listened to this album, it literally sounds like it was recorded in 2020 or like somewhere around that era.
Um, yeah, the feedback was great. Like there's like a I would say there's like a cult
Following for that.
movement around it for sure.
Yeah, because
Especially even with the first mixtape with the Calm Before the Storm,
yes, sir.
that really cultivated a nice little niche fan base.
See, I like how like you understand like how powerful the Wu-Tang movement is, because there's some cats out there they only know like 9 members, but I know cats like GP Wu, LA the Dirk, man. Like yo, like there's so many
Yeah.
of these underground artists that are incredible. And like when I seen like Moon Crickets, it's like yo, we got Canadians up in this now.
there, there's so many that there's a cat in Europe that made a book about all the Wu affiliates. I don't know if you've seen that or looked at it. And we're in it, but there's so many people I've never heard of in my life that are in it, like hundreds.
It's
It's
not by
crazy.
Silverins, is it?
No. It's I think is Matisse something.
I'm gonna check that out after this because
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Wikipedia don't be giving you the right information sometimes.
Yeah, no. This guy went in, like this guy dug up names. I'm like, who's this? But he
Yeah.
has like a write up on everyone.
So like understanding that too, like just because like how powerful that Wu-Tang movement is, I was curious on like a few of like your favorites. Like because we all get into the Wu for the main guys, but then we start to venture out and like start finding like Killer Army or like Sons of Man.
Uh, so you're asking me who are my favorites?
Like who did you like first find after the Wu-Tang? Like the main like after like who did you find in the affiliates first?
Um, one of my favorites was Shabazz the Disciple.
Oh, okay.
He's
Okay.
nasty.
Oh
He's
yeah.
very underrated. So I would probably say him, Killer Priest, Sons of Man.
Now this gentleman on here been on the platform multiple times. I always see him commenting underneath your pictures, man. Man, Hellraiser, man. I was curious if you got to know Hellraiser before the accident.
No, it was after the accident actually that I got to know him.
Okay, so like even like where for you like actually having the moon crickets and like I'm pretty sure you know Priest is a part of another group called the Maccabees.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't know that. It's facts.
he's he's a part of like 20 different groups.
Yeah. And some of them ain't even Wu-Tang like the Four Horsemen.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's all over the place.
So so going into the Wu and your status within there now too. I also see like everyone from the boot camp except for Sean Craig's RIP been on the platform. This gentleman we actually recorded that interview on Christmas Day. I was curious on how did you meet General Steele?
Oh, Steel. He's mad cool.
Sure. Joe,
We
Mr. Gay.
met we met through a mutual friend who his name's Mark Stoddard. He basically has like a clothing line that's like an inspirational and empowerment movement type of clothing line. And Steele got wind of it and loved it and was like, yo, how can I help out? I want to like endorse your stuff. So it basically stemmed from that. He flew down, met with all of us, we clicked, and yeah, we did a song, We hung out, and he's mad cool. And then when he came back, we did the video, and yeah, the rest is history. He's mad cool.
So you didn't initially meet him through music. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it was more of through a movement of just positivity, you know?
And obviously, you know of The Shining now too. So like when you first meet somebody like that, and like once everything's out there, like how do you ask somebody like that to like you want to do a song with?
I didn't.
Oh,
It
so
was
you wanted to.
no, it was just something that happened organically
Ah, okay.
because he just wanted to support the movement, and Mark wanted to do a song with a positive message, and he was just down. And then he was like, all right, send me the beat. So I ended up crafting up the beat, sent it to him. He loved it. Then we got Ace on it, and it was a wrap.
Now for what we talked about earlier now too, about like the DJ and producer now too, you're actually a producer now too. So I was curious now too, with being a DJ and producer, has those worlds ever intertwined? Like, if you wanted to change your name, because like you know how it says produced by DJ Mercilless, like did you ever think about like just like do it produced by Mercilless, or did you want to keep the DJ because the significant behind that?
Yeah, no, the DJ is the stem. So without the DJing, I wouldn't even be producing. So I have to keep the DJ there.
Now we're not going to ask what you use, but we're going to ask: do you use hardware or computer?
I use a bit of both, but I'm MPC 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want. I don't like tax producer. Yo, so
No, that's fine.
okay. I know some
No,
people.
I'm proud. I'm proud to say MPC all day. Technique 1200s, Rain Mixer.
Now you've been in the. You're from Scarborough, if I got my facts right.
Yep. Yep.
Now you've been in the Ontario hip hop scene for quite a bit now too, and I was curious,
Mhm.
when did you start to see the change from like people to having club records to actually just making albums the way they want? Because I remember there was a time where you needed that club record.
Um, I don't know. I don't know if it was that or everything just changed when Drake hit.
I didn't want to say that, but yes, very true. Very true. Because we seen that shift from the
Oh,
2010.
100%. I've seen it as an engineer. Like when Drake dropped, everybody thought that they could do it. Like
Yeah,
he literally gave the whole country hope. Like, oh, if he could do it, I could do it.
yeah. Because the most that we had, like, yeah, we had a like matchup, but like the most international was Cardinal.
Yeah, for sure.
But when we see Drake, like with like Young Money and stuff like that, it's like, yo, like there's actually hope for us out here.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's why coming into like I like to call the rise of Griselda, because I was early on Griselda. I found West Side and Conway through Combat Jack, R.I.P. So as you being very in tune with our culture now too, I was curious, when did you start to discover like this low bass, low drum, lo-fi sound, like actually making a comeback and like actually being toward like pushed towards the mainstream?
For me, I don't think it's been pushed to the mainstream. I think that they've just bubbled so much in the underground that it seems like it. And with them getting signed to Eminem, it seems like it. But I don't think they're that above the underground. Although I see Benny kind of going up there,
Yeah,
but I don't see West Side doing that. West Side is still gutter.
yeah.
He's not trying to do commercial shit.
That's very true.
He
Because
doesn't care.
like if we look at it now, like if you remember Shady Records from like the early 2000s, it was all like you had to have a pop hit or a funny song. But when Griselda came
Yeah.
out, it was all Derringer and Beat Butcher, and they never compromised their sound.
But if you also look at how they marketed it, they
Yeah,
didn't.
no
They didn't do
clinical.
anything. They just let Griselda do what Griselda was gonna do, and that was it. That's why they ended up dropping them, because they weren't doing anything for Griselda. Griselda was already doing what they were doing.
And like it just kind of blows my mind, like how this movement is known for physicals, and then when they release their albums on your platform,
Exactly. There's
there's
nothing.
a T-shirt where that's all we got for
Yeah,
what?
it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. They, me personally, I think they did it to squash the movement of the underground.
Mm. And then like,
Because if you sign somebody that's about to really burst through and you want to keep them down, give them some money and shut them down. That's what they do.
I never thought, because that I seen that happen to Elder, but I never thought that, because now that you say that, now I remember the time where what Who Made the Sunshine was coming out, and M posted the Alchemist's like coloring book on his Instagram, and he didn't even promote Westside, who signed to this guy's own label. So
That's what I'm saying.
now that you said that, now it actually makes me think about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because if the underground rises up like that, it's a threat.
yeah, that you know what? That's very true right there, because a lot of artists at the top, they're scared of the underground lyrics because they're raw.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same thing that Sony did to Dead Prez
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
when
Oh
they
yeah,
had
Sony
the
did blackball them, yeah.
when they didn't just blackball them, they basically gave them hush money and
Yeah,
said, okay, stop, because they were about to bust through and make a movement because they got Jay-Z on a record.
yeah, the Hell Yeah remix.
Exactly. So they were like, nah, we can't have the hottest rapper with these militant guys. People might actually start listening to these guys. Nah, 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 nah. Let's kill this record.
That's actually interesting now, because I remember after that album, we didn't get another Dead Prez project to that Gangsta Grills project they did, and that was like 4 years after.
Yeah, and by then the movement was killed.
And then, because like you gotta remember, like the way that Griselda's doing it, like they're like tape every month, but back then it wasn't like so easily put out now.
Yeah, no, it'll take you like a year and a half to come out with a new record most of the time back then.
Nowadays they do it in a week.
Yeah, because it's
So
cheaper to record.
yeah, yeah, that's very true. Yeah, because if you look at some artist stories, you see like them like celebrating the living room. There's just a booth right there. It's like, oh, it's really, you could do this in a stairwell.
Yeah.
Get that gutter sound. But anyway, I was curious now too, man. I think I found this gentleman through Danielson and Future Waves project. Once I heard this gentleman sound, I knew like this guy was gonna like be a significant part in Canadian culture now too. I was curious on how you linked up with Aso.
The first time I met Asun was actually at an ODB
Oh wow.
birthday party. So
No,
it comes full circle back to Wu-Tang.
it does.
So I remember going to that party, and Asun actually thought that I was you God. That's the running joke.
Hey yo, Esau, yo, you wildin', yo, if you watching this.
So fast forward maybe I think it was a year right after that, because I have the same birthday as ODB.
Okay.
So because I think we did it a weekend. Yeah, I think it was a week before our actual birthday, but then I ended up meeting him again on my birthday. So I'm not sure if it was the same year or a year after, but I think it was a year after, but it was on my birthday, which is super weird. He ended up at my house.
Oh, okay.
Because somebody else had brought him over. And then he was like, yo, didn't I meet you before? Like,
yeah, you called me.
And then we made the connection that, yeah, we met at the whatever party. And yeah, and we worked together after that, and it was a wrap.
Yeah, because like to see his rise within the last like 4 years has been really amazing to see now too. And he talks every time I interview him, he always brings you up, talks very highly about you, and that's how I got put on.
Yeah, me and him are brothers, man. He was just here a couple hours ago.
Oh yeah,
like, we record all the time.
Now, this is the thing what I like about you guys' relationship now too. And it also shows the character within you too. Buffalo Rapchaz. Am I saying that right?
Yep, Buffalo Rapchaz.
Okay. Now, with this project now too, this has been in the making for a long time now too. But like, I understand that you had tracks from Benny way before like Tana Talk 3, if I got my facts straight.
It was right around that time when it dropped, when 10 and 3 dropped.
Yeah, because when I hear like these lyrics by him, I'm like, yo, this is like Tana Talk 3 Benny right here.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying.
So when I heard this album now too, you could have easily, because I always see like I won't say the other name, but they put out like a Conway project or like something else that they like worked on before they were famous. It doesn't really get that promotion now too. But with this one, I noticed that there's a lot of Asun really like I don't think I heard Asun like this before. Like he's really bringing his A game with it. So what made you
Yeah,
want to include Asun? Because you could, like I said, you could have just kept this for yourself.
yeah. Um, well, that's basically me and Fury just saying like, yo, okay, we collected a bunch of songs, and then it was like, why don't we just make it a Asun DJ Mercilless project? So that I would say that's mainly Fury as far as appointing it our project.
Okay.
But yeah, we were just doing songs and we ended up adding Benny on some of them, so it just worked out like that.
Now, why'd you guys wait like for a lot? Because like this was 2018 around that time. So why did you guys wait so long to put it out? Like, is it because you guys wanted to wait for the right time?
Pandemic,
Ah, yes.
Louis passing,
Oh, yes.
whole bunch of stuff.
Now, was the original cover art done before Louis passed?
No, there was talks of something like that, but no, it wasn't done.
Now, had the topic ever come up, like how you were gonna market this project too once it came out now too? Like, because like when most people, when I first asked Ace on it, I thought it was like a straight up Ason and Benny project, like just like random producers. But like once I got more of the backstory now too, I was actually like curious. Like, did you guys have like second thoughts? Like, man, like this guy's taking off, man. Like how are we gonna market this?
Yeah, I mean, Fury decided that it should be me and Ace because we're on every track,
Yeah,
right? So it only made sense. It's hard to market it as Ace and Benny tracks, and he's on 5 tracks.
yeah,
But there's
exactly.
10 tracks on the album, so it didn't really make sense to market it that way. Because at first we were gonna make it an EP with just the 5 tracks, but then
Oh.
it turned into the album because we added Conway and then we added a couple of other tracks. So it just morphed into what it morphed into.
I love the track of Snacks. Or shout out to Snacks right there.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy track.
Oh yeah, man, I love that.
That
So
was that was actually, I think he laid down the last verse.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm talking about the last verse on the whole project though.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that of that song. Okay.
Yeah, so he was like a last minute, like, hey, we should put Snacks on here,
Yeah, yeah.
because I even made like merch, but like if you look at this, so this is a mug, but Snacks' name is
Oh,
not on it.
I see. Okay, yeah, because Dread Eye, Dreadpool, Recognize, Eater. Yeah, everyone's on there. That's on that album. Okay, but it
Exactly,
will be.
but Snacks isn't there, and Conway's not there either.
I was just gonna say yes, yes.
Yeah, so this was an early prototype.
Hey, hey, it'll be rare one day. Hey, it'll be rare. Super
Yeah,
rare.
oh, for sure. There's only a few of them.
Now, why the name Buffalo Raptors now? Because it's such like when you see that name, it's like it just stands out. It's like I want to know what this is about. And
Yeah.
I want to listen.
So the Buffalo has to do with obviously their whole Buffalo. They're from Buffalo. The Raptors part comes from Louis, because Louis, when the Raptors were on their championship run, he always used to say, "Yo, the Toronto Rapchaz."
Ah,
So we combined the two.
I like that. Yeah, I didn't like. Yeah, okay, I like that now because like I just thought it was like a play on like of like Raptors, but now that you said, I was like, okay, it is a play on Raptors.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, don't worry. It says 10. I'll edit this part out though. But if during the
Okay.
last minute, I'll reset it because Zoom does.
Yep. Okay, cool.
So when you're coming into this project now too, Buffalo Raptures now too, like, did you instantly know like you wanted this to have on vinyl? Because when I look at your pictures, you're always posting vinyls of your favorite albums. Like, I was like, man,
Yeah.
that guy really loves vinyl, man. Just, I bet you love the sound of it, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what made you actually want to like do vinyl for this project now too?
Because when I do full projects, I go into it with the mindset of I want it to be on vinyl because when I'm gone, I want that project to live on,
And it'll be
you know?
passed down
So
through generations.
yeah, so I feel like vinyl has that vibe of they're like hieroglyphics. Like they'll always be here as long as there's a planet.
That's
So
very
I want to leave that legacy. I don't want to leave a digital legacy.
That's very true because we see that. Like, I like to point out like the mixtape era. You know how much great material we got, and it got like half of it's deleted from Dat Piff for these mixtapes because like,
That's what I'm saying. It's like it never existed.
yeah.
But
But I
now if they pressed it on vinyl, it would always exist.
or somebody gonna get sued if they do that for a mixtape. But yes.
Yeah.
So like I like how you know that too, like the significance of like physical music, because you come from the era where I come from, where you open the CD and as you listen to it, you're reading the inside credits, like, oh, this was produced by this, or this was produced by this.
Yep. Yep.
So, did you initially, when you go into this project now too, I'm pretty sure you had everything to do from the design to the layout. Now, when you're doing like the little cover like booklet night too, like, did you guys really go in with it, like produced by Mercilless, mixed by?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
See, that's
I'm all about details.
and see that's good now too because there's some out there when you open it, it just like it'll just have like the little mixtapes like slot on the back. It's like really there's no book.
Yeah. Yeah. No, all the info's there.
Now, with you guys now too, with Buffalo Raptures now too, and the rise of the Griselda movement now too, I have to, I see it now too. Do you think Scarborough is going to be like that next city? Like you know how Buffalo is right now, right? You think
Yeah.
Scarborough is going to be like that next city that's going to be put on the map?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But if it is, we're definitely going to be a huge part of that.
Because like if you look at like some artists now, you don't really understand like this underground wave we're in right now. Some of them may only know it's like, oh, I need a trappy and stuff like that. And I have to have a catchy head. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you can actually go into this craft, speak what you want to get, but make it authentic. Because you can tell when someone's just like, oh, I'm gonna hop on this wave real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Because it makes their music sound dated.
Yeah, exactly. Now, with you guys now with the Buffalo Raptors now too, like the cover now too, why did you guys choose Louis Rakin for the cover?
Because he was a part of the project. Like he did the intro, he's on the outro song, he's in the middle of the album. He partly named it
Now, was this
because he
before?
was part of the inspiration for the whole Raptures.
So
You know
you
what I'm
guys,
saying?
so you guys actually, when you guys were recording, he was actually laying down those parts for the actual album.
Yeah.
Okay. And it must hit different now when you listen to it now because knowing like that he's gone now too and he left.
Yeah.
And now it's on vinyl now too, and it will always live on through that.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh,
To me, that's very important.
and
So any important projects, I tried to get them on vinyl.
what are some of your most important projects that you have that you consider important?
I'd say Death in the Arena, Buffalo Raptors are probably the two most significant for sure.
Now,
And
is
then
there,
I got records like singles,
yeah,
like the early Terror Chase track, which is the first one that I ever did. Um, the early Eternia stuff. Yeah.
it hits different, I bet, when you have like a complete body of work done like
Yeah, for sure. There's songs I forget that I did.
that you did.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
like, oh yeah, I did work with that guy.
yeah, because like, and I also noticed now too, like having a picture of someone, like I noticed that you don't just have it on your Instagram, you actually have these on your wall, like that you actually met them. Like, because most people when they get a
Yeah,
post this on the gram, but like,
yeah.
but it shows that you actually love this culture because you have it on your actual like family members on the wall.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, and I'm not a guy that really likes to take a lot of pictures, which
Yeah,
is weird because I have a lot of
yeah,
pictures.
yeah.
But um, yeah, I was never one to be that show off guy. Be like, yo, can I take a picture with you? The first picture that I actually put on my wall was a picture of me and Pete Rock.
Oh wow.
And the
Oh wow.
significance of that one is Pete Rock asked me to take the picture
Oh wow. Okay, I can see why.
because I saved his butt at the club
Oh,
because he ran. So I opened up for him. So when it was time for him to go, he ran out of records.
oh. You're very
So so I basically had to do his set with him. So I was selecting on my Serato the records and he was playing because he didn't know how to use Serato at that point.
Oh, wow. See, just another way of like placing yourself in the right moment because like memories like that you're always gonna cherish.
Oh, for sure. That was huge. So after that, I kind of kicked myself because I was like, why didn't I take pictures with Large Professor when he came down and all these other guys? Like, damn, but I got him in my memory.
Now with Buffalo Raptures now too, what do you hope to accomplish with this album now too? Do you hope to get the same impact and cult following as Moon Crickets, or do you want to expand to a bigger audience with this one?
Yeah, I definitely want to expand to a bigger audience because I want people to finally recognize my talents
I'll
at
say
at a bigger rate.
about to call Gazelle is like, yo, you need to sign this guy right here. Screw Dr. Willie. No offense, conductor, just the conductor gets old after a while. But now I was curious now too. Now DJ tags and producer tags, there's a big difference between them now too. Do you incorporate both of them in your actual tag for when you make a beat? Like how like Alchemist is like Alchemist. Like do you have like a certain
Yeah, yeah,
like
of
but is
course.
it different
I
from your
got I got my Mercilless tag.
but is it different from a
Say that
DJ
again?
one? Is it different from your DJ one? Because I know some DJs have a
No,
different DJ tag.
no, it's the same. It's the same one.
Oh, it's the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
And is this like recently new or is it old? Because I saw like
No,
yeah.
I've had that tag for definitely over 10 years.
Oh wow.
But
Okay. So it's a
anybody that's been to any of my like old parties will know that tag.
now everyone has like an inspiring story about like how they got their producer tag. I was wondering what was the story behind your producer tag and why you chose to keep it for so long.
Um, it's just one day, because I'm not really one of those guys. I'm not like a New York DJ that likes to talk all the time on the mic. I'm more of a quiet, like let my hand speak. But a couple of times I was on the mic and I put on that DJ voice and I got and I just said my name and it was like, oh, wait a minute, okay,
Oh, that's a
let me
younger
use that.
you.
And oh, it's me.
Oh, okay. I wasn't too sure if it was a younger you or not. Okay.
Yeah, so I ended up just taking the tag and yeah, running with it. And people will stop me on the street and do it.
It's like, oh, you tapped in.
Yeah, like I've had people like in cabs drive past me and be like, Mercilless. I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
It's like that's
So
how you
that's
know
kind of
that you're
cool.
real.
Yeah, so that's when I knew, yeah, this something's working because I'm getting their attention, right?
Exactly. Well, and plus some of us like there's stand out tags like that. Like there's the Merciless, there's the Alchemist one, there's like man, the billions of DJ drama tags that he has. Now that's what I was curious about now too. I was super curious because I don't think we had much DJs on the show. But what are your views of somebody like a DJ drama screaming all over the record? Like that, I was always curious what DJs think about that.
definitely not my style. That's more of a New York style, but I think most of the DJs that do that don't have skills with their hands.
Yeah, more.
So they have to do that to compensate.
Yeah, cause nowadays, like, I just don't like when I see like DJ in front of like certain like producers' names. It's like, this guy even know how to DJ?
Yeah, it's sad, but it is what it is,
But
you
that's
know?
why I like we have cats like you who are carrying on tradition and understand that it has to be like this because everybody wants to be digital, digital, digital. But it's like, there was a time where you had to do everything physical, and actually it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't sound that bad. Actually, it actually sounds better than a digital.
Yeah, yeah. I,
Now,
I understand why people go digital though, because it's convenient.
yes, it's more accessible.
Yeah.
And also now too, we we live in a generation now where we got to see, I want to say, three sides of hip hop. We had the golden era, the golden era is the 80s, another golden era, the 90s.
Is it though? Is the golden era the 80s? I don't know. I would argue that fact.
Okay, well, I never got to experience it. From everyone older, they say it's the 80s, but from my generation,
Nah,
it was
they're
the 90s.
crazy. 90s
Yes,
for
so yes,
sure.
so
In
yeah, yeah,
90s.
yes,
If you
yes.
but if you want to be technical, I would say if you want to include the 80s, then we're only starting from like 88 to like
99.
96. I don't
Oh,
even count the 99. To
okay.
me, that's when I would say in 98 it started to get trash.
This is not the first time I heard this before. Shout out to Apollo Brown. He recently said that his favorite era was through 91 to 96. And then I just heard you say, like, it was around that
Yep.
time. So
Yep.
I wasn't really in tune with like hip hop. I had to do by my homework in the early 2000s when I fell in love with it in 99. But like,
Mm-hmm.
when did you start to, like, what was the difference between 96 and 97?
Um, it became about money.
And the flash and then like the shiny suit era, right?
Yes. So everything was get money, make money, shake your ass, shake your tits.
Mace, yep.
It became less about the art form and more about we got to get this money to make our lives better and fuck this conscious shit. Fuck talking about other subjects. We're talking about this one thing and we're getting money.
Now, I like how you put that out now too, because there's a group from that era who made an incredible transition from that era. When we first heard of the Locks, if you jiggy, and most people know that song. If you tune into the
Yeah,
Locks,
they didn't want to do that song.
see, and then when you listen to the actual song, "More Money, Money, Power, Respect," it has that street feeling on it now too.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me curious now too on like what if, like, we always have like, Marvel what if, right? I always say like what if the Lock stayed with Puffy?
They'd probably be richer.
Yeah. Well, not to say
but
no,
they
yeah.
but I don't know if their music would be good.
Now that is what I wanted to say because it took them, I think, 3 years for We the Streets dropped, and that sound had the Rough Rider sound all over it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that if they would have stayed with Puffy and if there was no DMX, that do you think that they would have the significance that they do now?
That's tough to say.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
because
know.
we grew up, like, I hate to say it now too, but like we also had like the digital mixtape era, and the Locks was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like classic record. There's like some Styles P records that I can't even find anymore.
I know. Same here. So you don't even know, like, if they were with Puff, would they be allowed to do those mixtapes?
Probably
Probably
not.
not.
Probably not.
So then that changes their whole feel.
Yeah. No, actually, that makes me want to question this too now too, because you said the Mooncrate Crickets before the actual album, there was a mixtape before it now too. Did you
Yeah.
want to do like a prelude mixtape to the album, or was this like just like kind of randomly you did that?
Yeah, we kind of randomly did that because the album was being delayed.
Yeah.
So rather than waste tracks that we had in the vault, we said, okay, those few that didn't make the album necessarily, we're gonna put those out on a mixtape, and we added a couple of other guys that produced, and then I mixed everything as a DJ and put it all together. So I
Now,
didn't produce everything. I produced the majority of it, but that was just like a kind of introduction so that they got familiar and ready for the album to drop, you
was it
know?
was it hard to give away like some of the tracks that you had in the votes? Like, man, I don't really want to put this on a mixtape, but the album is just much more incredible. Like, was there moments like that?
Yeah, I had a couple I had some reservations because I'm not really big on the whole mixtape as
Yeah,
far as
I figured.
using original production and then
Yeah,
just giving it away like that. But
yeah, so basically a street album.
I was confident. I was confident enough that the idea would work, and eventually, maybe one day it'll come out on vinyl. Maybe I'll take the tracks that I did and make a little mini EP. I don't know.
Oh, Moon Cricket's not on vinyl?
Not Calm Before the Storm.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only one that wasn't, because I didn't do all of the production, so we
Oh,
didn't put that on vinyl. That's only on CD.
but Definitely Arena
But
is
the
on.
other two,
Yes.
yeah, for sure. That's on double vinyl,
I was just gonna say I
actually.
could have sworn I just seen it on Discogs.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Now I noticed now too, we're seeing like the price of vinyl. Like I I won't lie, I'm trying to find a Fly God vinyl, and these prices are I just like I wasn't in
Good
tune
luck.
with that at the time. Yeah, okay.
Good
Thinking,
luck.
thinking. Someone said to me, I'm settling for a fake. I'm like, no, I need that authentic.
Yeah, good luck. If
Now,
you got a spare $3,000 out there, go ahead.
oh wow, is he my whole laptop?
I'm not I'm not I'm not paying $3,000 for no record.
Well, okay, so this is what it was leading into this question now too. What's the most that you ever? You don't have to say the name of the record, but what's the most that you ever paid for a vinyl?
Um Maybe close to around 100.
And did you end up using it?
Like using it as far as what, sampling it or playing it? I play all my records. I don't buy my records and then just leave them.
Yeah, I
I
never
actually
understood
play
that.
them.
Yeah, like when I see people like post this, like,
Well,
don't you open it?
I understand it if you're like a serious collector and you had doubles.
Ah, okay, yeah, that
But I'm
makes
not gonna buy one copy and
just
then
leave it in the
never
trash.
open it up or play it. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's basically just a pain. Yeah, because like every time I see like when I get my vinyl, I want to open. People's like, "Why are you opening the pack?" Because I want to listen to the record. And
Yeah.
it blows people's mind now too. It's like you could just listen to it.
Yeah.
It's different on vinyl. I tell people like you think you know it with digital guys, but like
Yeah.
you hear somebody's music on, ooh, they just don't know Mercilless.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah,
Now,
it's different.
now I was curious now too with your vinyl collection now too. When did you start? Like everyone remembers their first album they ever bought in lifetime. So besides Gangstar, I don't know if it's Gangstar, but what was the first vinyl record that you?
Definitely not Gangstar.
Oh, okay.
Um, the first one would be BT Express.
Oh wow, I was not expecting that. Wow.
Yeah. So
Now,
that's a classic 70s record that everybody in hip hop has sampled.
yes, that's very true. Well, if like I like how you said that too now too, because when people think like a hip hop producer, they think, oh, they must like strictly listen to hip hop beats. Like, no, producers have the most wide variety of ears than human, like other
Yep.
humans. They can hear stuff in other
Yep.
records you can't.
That's the beauty of hip hop, because hip hop is whatever you make it.
That's very
You
true.
can sample anything. You could sample a sound effect. You could sample a country record. You could sample heavy metal,
Sure.
and you can make it into a hip hop track.
Now,
You
like
can't do that with any other genre. And that's why hip hop's the best.
you can because if you think about it, because I remember Bozak Morris, he made this beat, but the sample is a water dripping, and it's like yo, like
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like, yo, you can make anything, and you don't get that with rock. You don't get that with like,
No.
you don't get that with that. That's what I mean. Even with like I always
Mhm.
curious, like with your moon crickets, like I always like group efforts. So another question I was gonna ask, have you ever thought about like making like a producer super group with like three other members in the Scarborough or Toronto area and coming out like with like a Justice League, but like not like those type of beats though.
Yeah, I mean, back in the days, I used to have something similar to that with my two cousins. We
Oh,
had a
okay.
collective, so that's probably the closest I've ever come to something like that.
Has like something ever come to your mind, the unification of Toronto? Sorry, the unification of the province of Ontario, where we have like you, Bozak, Future Wave, Finn, all in one room, just crafting beats together. Like this, because I think that if we get a collective like that coming out of Canada, it's gonna turn heads because everyone has their own buzz at the moment. Why not come together and make it more?
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Well, it's difficult because everybody's still trying to get their shine, you know?
Well,
So I
from the
mean,
outside looking in,
we've there was an event that Finn put on where all four of us were in the room together. You know, and that was cool. There's a lot of other beat makers in there. But
I
the thing
think.
that boggled my mind is you're at a exhibition where dope producers and DJs and people who are doing big things are in a room full of like just crazy hip hop vibes, and there was barely any up and coming MCs.
Oh,
So to me, they missed the boat right there.
yeah. Because
You
I
had
think
at least a
yeah,
good 10 producers in there, and there's no up and coming lyricists.
I
Where
think
are they?
I think I actually seen that picture. I think he was on Bozak or Finn's page, though, because I think Dante was there too.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Now, do you have any particular favorite Canadian groups? Like, I don't know if you're aware of Falcon Crest. Man, I wish Falcon Crest would make a
yep,
comeback right now.
yeah, yeah.
So for like, is there any more like that you may know that some of us may know?
Well, I work with a duo called Usual Suspects.
Okay. Now, are they from?
So I don't know
I'm not tuned in.
from
Did you
they're
go
from
up?
they're from Scarborough. They're
Okay.
from Scarborough. One is originally from Montreal, but now lives in Scarborough. So I'm working on their album right now.
I'm a
We got like 4 or 5 singles out right now.
okay. Now
So
everyone,
yeah, it's Usual Suspects.
now
So check it
everyone.
out.
Oh, we definitely got to check out Usual Suspects because, like,
Yeah, because and the unique thing about them is there's no more hip hop duos.
I was just gonna say we don't get the two
You
man
know?
anymore.
Yeah,
It's usually the producer and the DJ.
yeah. Nah, this is a DJ producer with two MCs.
Yeah. See, and I think like just the name stands out too, like Usual Suspects now too, because it's like it makes you want to. Well, anything that's Canadian that has like a unique name, I want to listen to it because like I think this article where it said that Canadians are literally running the music industry right
Yeah, we are. The eyes are up here. That's
now.
for sure.
That's what I mean. Like this, that's how I know. Like, yo, it's either gonna be Scarborough or somewhere in Vancouver that's gonna be the next up because there is so much. I think like what you did with Buffalo Rapchaz now too. A lot more people are gonna be tuned in now too, and it's also the beauty of timing because he released Burden of Proof. What was she
Yep.
gonna do? Um, Can Talk 4,
And the
Pleasant
top
One and
four.
2.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and then if there's other hip hop heads like us out there, they may be huge fans of Benny the Butcher. They check this album out, then they become huge fans of Asun Eastwood. They're like, "Yo, where's Mercilless production?" And then they start doing the research, and it's what the beauty of all of it is.
Yep. That's what we're hoping for.
Oh yeah, that's why I wanted to reach out. I was like, yo, man, I gotta get these guys on here, man, because a lot of people, it's like I want to say that this album is like, I don't know if you heard Pharoah Monch's new album, 13.
I've heard some of it. Yeah.
Now that was an incredible record last year that we never got something like that before. But with Buffalo Raptures, I like how it's the connection between Buffalo and Canada because you guys are like literally right across the river from Buffalo.
Yeah. Only an hour and a half.
Oh wow, I see that's not even that far right there.
Yeah.
Now, with this project now too, like it recently just came out though. We're gonna put all the links where they can copy it in the description below. Now, I was curious, Mercilless, now too. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience before I have to let you go? But you don't have to say where we're gonna get it because it's all in the link below if and the pictures on the screen too, so they can see it.
Okay. Uh so what was the question?
Oh, now is there any like anything that you want to give like motivational? Because there may be like some young gentleman that's like coming into the game, first found you through Benny the Butcher and he watches this interview. So I was curious, like if you have any motivational words before I let you go.
Um I would say be yourself. One, don't follow people. Believe in whatever you're trying to craft, and make sure that you know that your friends will not buy your shit.
I like that.
Don't be hurt by your friends not supporting your dreams, because they won't.
That's very true. You may get the one or two, but don't expect them all.
Yeah, they're not, majority of them will not support.
I
So
like
as long as you know that, and you can keep going through that and make dope shit, keep it up.
that's probably the best answer we got on here so far. Because like
It's because I'm a vet. I've been through all of it.
because you
My
actually
friends don't buy my shit. It's like, what do you want from me? Damn.
man, but man, I do appreciate you taking the time out your day, Merciless, to chop it up with us. Or shout out to Fury, Asa, if you're watching this, or you guys are welcome on the show too. Merciless, man. Like I said, if you got an upcoming project with the usual suspect, all three of us, hey, let's come back here. Let's do it. Let's do it.
For sure.
All right,
That'd be
Merciless.
dope.
Now, this is from the desk below. Now, if you ain't tuning into this gentleman right now, you should be right now. If not, you missing out. Buffalo Rapchaz out below, DJ Mercilless, and Asun Eastwood. Merciless, you have a good one.